So we are back here with another video, man. So today we have a very hot topic in the My Team community, man. Troydan spending $5,000 to obtain the 100 overall Yao Ming event lock-in, man. So that is the topic of the video today. We are going to get into that in just a minute. Before we do get into it too heavily, though, I just kind of want to say that I'm going to start. I've used a lot of event pieces to get some packs. I've been ripping a ton of packs, and whenever I get pack pulls, I will probably be posting them over on Twitter for the foreseeable future. I'll still have pack opening videos if I'm opening a bunch of packs, but I'll also have some W pulls over on Twitter, so make sure to go check out my Twitter. I know that, wow, like that's so original, right? But some of you guys might want to keep up with what I'm pulling, and I might post some other things over there too. So make sure to go give me a follow on Twitter. It should be pretty easy to find. It's just TFikeYT, of course, man. So that would be very much appreciated. And also please make sure to subscribe to this channel as well as leave a like on the video. But enough self promo here. Let's get into the topic of the video. So basically, last night Troydan had a stream, and he was streaming for a ridiculously long amount of time, right? And that was because of the pink diamond shakers. I mean, you're getting a pink diamond shaker. If we look at these pack odds, man, you are getting a shaker on 1 out of every 4 packs. Actually, it equates to, especially with how many packs he opened, it would actually be more than 1 out of every 4 packs you're getting a shaker in. So that's why it took so long. Don't know why they made the duplicate shake. I mean, that was kind of, I just don't understand that on 2K's part. Because he almost tapped out because of it. And I don't blame him because, like, my goodness, if you're opening up like 20 or 30 damn boxes and you keep seeing those shakes, it would get a little old. So that is why it took so long. So I just kind of want to get that out there. A lot of people are saying it took so long because the ridiculous. If there was no shakers, it would have been like probably a third or a quarter of the time. There's no doubt about that, man. So that I just kind of wanted to highlight that. And I'm not trying to, with this whole video, I'm not trying to say that this is a good thing. This is not. The amount of money that he spent is absolutely absurd. And it is a money grab. Yao is a complete money grab. It's an L. I get it. I do think there are positive aspects about this event that we'll talk about, though. I'm not trying to glaze this event. I'm not trying to glaze 2K. And I think that some people, for some reason, these videos come off as that. I am trying to present all of the information that is involved in this situation instead of just seeing red and just going on a rant when I see that $5,000 number. And I'm also trying to, say that I believe that people overreact so heavily with things like this, man. So, yeah, let's kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the video. So, first of all, I want to talk about this event as a whole. Yao Ming is an L. These Paul George and Dirk are an L. This Blitz box is an L for 5/100. This actually looked enticing at first. This should be like 5 Dark Matters. This should not be 5/100 overall pieces. It is a ripoff because you are going to be getting. We've started seeing like odds on packs like this, right? And a lot of times, like, it'll be an opal pack, right? But you can get a dark matter, or oh, it's a pack where it's either a gold or a dark matter. There's another box that's like that, or oh, it's a 97 plus, but you can get it. Usually, the odds for the higher is 2%. So I'm sure that that's what the odds are of getting a dark matter out of this box. It's 2%. So you're paying an extreme tax at a very low chance of getting a dark matter. So that box is a ripoff. A lot of the high tier things are a ripoff. But we start getting down here, man. I think this lethal shooter is a W. I think that this 10 box still remaining at 2 dark matters is actually kind of a sleeper, man. You can literally, and the reason that I'm saying things like this is because I pulled a 100 overall piece. I opened quite a few packs, but I did pull a 100 overall piece, and immediately with that, I don't think the odds are very good, but immediately with that, I could go and get this 10 box. You know what I mean? I could go and get a Baca. I'm like 2 pieces short of Tyreek Evans. I am, because everybody talks about, right, oh, all of the tiers stayed the same, so it's just harder to get everything now. Or, oh, everything's more games, so it's harder to get everything now. But it all balances out because now if you pull a 100 overall piece, which I did, I obviously didn't spend any money. I didn't open a ridiculous amount of packs, maybe like 500K over the last 2 days. And now with 100 overall piece, sure, maybe I got lucky, but I'm set. Like if I pull another one or grind Park tomorrow, I'll be able to get Tom Chambers. I could get Ibaka right now. I could get this 10 box right now. And if Dark Matter was the highest tier, sure, maybe everything's a little bit easier to get or whatever, but you now have a chance of pulling that 100 overall piece. So it's not all bad. You know, there's people acting like Tom Chambers is unattainable, no money spent, which is just absolutely false, man. You're going to have to open up some packs. I mean, there's people that despise packs. There's people that just hate opening up packs. But you're going to have to spend some MT on packs. I mean, that's always how events are, but I don't know. Everyone's talking about all the bad with that, especially I know Most Ballin went on a rant and just kind of said, "Oh, you know, this event is the worst event we've ever seen. Everything got more expensive because they added a tier, right?" But if you kind of look at it with everything being the same price, it's actually kind of a good thing that there's another tier pullable. That's just kind of how I look at it, I guess. I don't know. I understand if you're looking at it from perspective of, oh, you grinded out LeBron and Hakeem, then, you know, this event is worse if you're going to open up zero packs, if you refuse to open up packs. So I get that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that specifically. And another thing that we need to talk about is Troydan on his uh he kind of had like a tracker that was tracking how much money he spent, and it ended up at like $5,100. First of all, that's Canadian, so it's $3,800 American. Second of all, he was like tracking per pack, so it doesn't equate to that. It wouldn't have been, it would have still been close to that, but it wasn't quite that much. So you could actually maybe bump that number down to maybe like 3,500 American. Third of all, he didn't sell anything or open up any MT packs. If he opened up MT packs, even just with the MT he had, it would have cost him maybe a third of the amount or half of the amount or a fraction of what he did spend if he opened up some MT packs. I know he did towards the end open up a few, but if he would have, you know, spent all of his MT on packs and went all in for Yao, he wouldn't have spent nearly as much. What are we on? Fourth of all, fifth of all? Maybe it's fourth of all. He was throwing up snipes. Like he threw up like a Cooper Flag snipe. I think he threw up maybe like a Galaxy Opal LeBron snipe. Like cards that he could sell and get millions of MT for selling them, but he's just trying to do this as fast as possible and only do it through VC packs. So those things are not being considered. If you have MT ready for this event, if you have cards that you can sell for this event and you want to go all in for Yao, I think the realistic amount of money, if say if you have like 5 million MT, you might have to spend. It's still going to be over $1,000. I'm not saying that this is something you should do. I'm not condoning this. I'm not condoning 2K's behavior with their events because it is an L, but it would be a lot less. And we're seeing people just panic because of the $5,000 number. Yeah, it's scary, but if you do it smartly and do it, just don't, you know, do what Troydan did, you can do it a hell of a lot cheaper. And people are saying too, it's just recency bias. Oh, this is the most money grab event ever. Do we not remember like GOAT KG last year? I think Troydan spent 10,000 for GOAT KG. No, I know on the surface level, Goat KG you would think isn't as expensive, but because yeah, it was a lock-in, right? But when there's pieces all the way up to Goat tier, with how rare the Goat tier pieces are and everything, KG ended up being way more expensive. And some of those other Goat cards, like what was there, like a Goat Bowl that was like 60 Goat pieces or some shit like that? Like this is not the most expensive event ever. This is not the most money grab event ever. The idea of it, this lock in, yes, this could lead in a bad direction. Some of these lock ins, if they keep going with this system, like if we get like GOAT Wemby or like maybe like an Invincible or GOAT like point guard Wemby as like a lock in or something like that later in the year, and you have to get like GOAT cards and Invincible cards, we could be seeing close to that $20,000 mark. We could, and that is scary. But this event specifically, people are really going with the recency bias. This is not the most expensive event in history. And like I already said, there is a lot of good cards. Like Galaxy Opal Surge Ibaka for 2 Galaxy Opal pieces could be the best value event card so far this year. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I think that he actually might be the best value. Maybe besides Yang Hansen, I guess. But like Yang Hansen's an amethyst, I understand that people don't want to use an amethyst. It's the reason that people are spending over 100K on the pink diamond, even though he's the same card, because people would rather have a pink diamond than an amethyst. That is something that I don't think DBG understands, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, man. So let's see what else I've got kind of written down here. So everyone's saying, oh, you could do this and get worse odds and spend even more and blah, 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 blah. Troydan's odds lined up very accurately because what was it, like 17? And it always will if you open up packs at a mass at which Troydan does, right? He spent like $1,700, or not, we already went over what he spent. He opened like 1,700 packs and pulled like, what was it, like 68 Galaxy Opals. He did not take into account the toppers, which you shouldn't when you're doing this math anyway, so it works out. And that equates to about the odds that we see, which is like 1.6%. Now, he only pulled 2 Dark Matters out of like, so, and that is blasphemous. And that is where I'm getting at, kind of what I'm getting at too, is there are other things that should be being complained about way more heavily than Troydan spending $5,000 for freaking Yao. Because first of all, that's how much we said when this event came out it was going to take. So why is this such a surprise? You tell me. I have no idea why this is it's coming off as like such a shocker for these videos that are being made. We knew when this event released, people mathed it out. We knew how much it was going to cost. Why is it such a shock what Troydan spent? I truly have no idea. But to me, the things that need to be getting complained about are the Dark Matters that he pulled. 2 Dark Matters in 1,700 packs is insanely bad. We have this Galaxy Opal option pack in here that, sure, I think you can click on something, and somebody said you can click on something. Yeah, you can click on this and see the Galaxy Opals that are available, but that is very predatory. It is bullshit that this Galaxy Opal option pack in this Hoff box only has those opals. The Opal option pack that is on myteam mobile is an absolute scam. Everyone's just getting D Wade, Larry Bird, Chris Paul, and Festival opals, which all suck. Besides maybe like Josh Giddey is still decent, but those packs are a scam. But nobody is talking about this. It's all, oh, Troydan spent $5,000, which we already predicted was going to be the case, and this is so bad. Let's complain about these other things. I'm not going to be the one to do it because I don't like to make rant videos, but I do sometimes. I have before. I did about the best of my team packs, but these things are way worse than the Troydan situation, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I think that it is troll. These Hoff boxes are troll, and the myteam Mobile Galaxy Opal option pack is troll. Um, let's see what else we have here. And everyone talking about, oh, well, Carlos Story and HTB got Dark Matters and they opened up only a couple 50 boxes. They have juice creator odds. Well, guess what? Troydan opened up a bunch of these packs. He'll open up a bunch of one specific promo and then not open up packs again for like 3 months. HTB and Carlos Story open up packs every promo, so they were due. That's what it comes down to. These were their first Dark Matters, both of them. They were due. Eventually, you will hit. Does it take way too long? Yes, but they do not have juice creator odds because they opened up way. It's also why it's a good idea if you are opening up packs to never open up a shit pile of packs. Just try your luck with a few, whether that's 50, 20. You don't want to be opening up like 5 plus 50 boxes because the odds, if you get lucky at first, the odds will catch up with you. You know what I mean? So if you are going to be somebody who spends money on packs, that is also another reason why it's not a good idea to open up packs at a huge mass because it's just like you can get lucky off of just a few, but if you open up packs at mass, the odds will always catch up with you. So people saying things like that, it's just, I mean, come on. I just, so I wanted to talk about that briefly. Um, yeah, and again, the events last year, I already wrote that and I already talked about that. But the events last year were so much worse for like Go Kid. It's just recency bias. And then just some of these things that are being said about like financial advice and oh, this money should be invested. And sure, I get these things for the general public. Like, oh, a car, you can get a very good used car for the amount that Troydan spent. And but Troydan was the one who spent 5K. You know what I mean? Like for him, he's making double the money back at least on the video and stream that he makes. I'm positive that Troydan has money invested. There's no chance that he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So sure, you can talk about these things for the general public, but the general public ain't spending 5 racks or 3.5 racks or however much it was. You know what? So just things like that. It's just I don't really know if they even need to be like I get it. You're trying to tell your viewers that you shouldn't be, but I can promise there ain't many viewers that are spending $3,800 that either don't have the money or are going completely broke. There might be a few, but I mean, like, you telling them how to spend their money ain't gonna change shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't ever get comments like that. And like telling, like, I'm sure Troydan's got multiple cars. First of all, he's probably got a $60,000 car, and then maybe like a couple cars that are like in the six-figure territory. Like I think he has like a Corvette and whatever else. And so, yes, you can say, "Oh, you can buy a car for 5,000," but that's like telling me, like, say that I want to go and buy a steak dinner, like a fancy steak dinner, like $100 plus for the best steak I can get wherever I'm at, and telling me, "Oh, fuck you, go get a burger for $2 because that's not fair to everybody else." Like what? Like that's just that is how this kind of stuff comes off to me. It is. It truly is. So that is why I am saying what I'm saying. So yeah, it's like, what in the world? Like, I'm sure if somebody needs a car, they're gonna buy a car before they buy packs. And if they are in a position where that is not the case, they sure, they need to get help, but I'm sure that you telling them these things, they're so far gone that it's not going to change anything. You know what I mean? So we don't need to give these comparisons and like people know certain amounts of money are more important to different people, right? But I'm not a fan of that, man. And I kind of already explained why. So I'm going to move on to the next topic. Um, and it's kind of like JC always says, like, oh, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Nobody should be spending this on this, or nobody should be. It makes a difference how much money you have, okay? Like, let's face it, it does. We can't act like it doesn't because it absolutely does. And then people, this is leading to people bringing the, talking about bringing the player market back. Like, bruh. Like, that's actually a reason that this is good, that people are spending this much because they'll never bring back the player market now. And I love it, man, because the player market, oh my lord, the player market's horrible. So, anyway, yeah, a lot of people talking about that, which is just kind of like, just makes me cringe every time I see it. Um, and then there's some little kids in Ty's comments. Uh, just talking about like, don't worry, Ty. Like Troydan still won't beat you since he has Yao, or oh, Ty, you don't need Yao to like, bruh. What are we even? Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. It's just another overreaction. another not talking about every aspect of the situation, not thinking it through. To me, that's how it comes off. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, as well as leave a like on the video, man. With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next vid.